Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow, and remember, no one is worthless, no story is worthless. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the spiritual side of things, and having spiritual accountability. So joining me tonight, all the way from the East Coast, Maryland area, they got them little crab cakes, DC, Maryland area, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. But joining me tonight is Coach Ella Destiny.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Hey, that's what's up. I am very, very glad to have you. And look, let's just go right into it now. As I opened up, I talked about spiritual accountability. And you have something called spiritual accountability partners. Can you just break down that term and the meaning behind, having spiritual accountability partners?
Sure. So I came up with SAPs, or spiritual accountability partners, because I was in a season in my life where I was going through so many things, and for so long growing up, I was a little feisty. I was a little, in my youthful days, you couldn't tell me nothing. And, people will always say, oh, don't say that. Y'all know how she is. Oh, Lord, don't get her started. But in my adult life, I understood that was not healthy for me. People were making it okay for me to be the way that I was. And so, as I started getting more and more into my spirituality and in touch with myself, I started surrounding myself with people that will hold me accountable spiritually, because, we don't like people to say, girl, that ain't right. Why would you say that? Or why would you do that? Or, if your boyfriend or your girlfriend cheat, let's go get him. Let's bust his windows. But my spiritual accountability partners would say, that ain't God. I don't care what that man did to you. I don't care what that woman did to you. The word says, this is what you need to do. And so, when I was going through a season of breakup, I would call my SAPs and I would be like, girl, this, that, and the third. And I don't want to talk about him. Let's talk about you. What did you do? How are you fixing yourself? Because if God brings that person back into your life right now, would you be ready for him? Can you check off all the things on the list that God said you are supposed to do to be a wife? And if you can't check those things off, I don't want to talk about him. I want to talk about you. And I'm like, hold on, whose side are you on? But they were checking me spiritually. And I needed that, because I do have people that will want to talk about this person all day long or talk about that person. And I didn't need those people around me. I needed my SAPs. And so that's how I came up with the spiritual accountability partner.
Okay. All right. And okay. So let me just say that is great. And we need people, and we really do need circles around us to hold us accountable if we are really trying to be the best, version of ourselves. And I can tell you, recently, I wasn't involved, but I overheard the conversation between two people. One person was feeling a certain type of way. Oh man, you need to go get that person. Like, is that the right thing to do? Shouldn't you be focused on what you got going on instead of
exactly.
Man, now, okay. So now, we were talking beforehand, before, we start recording and what have you, but I want to take spiritual accountability partners, SAPs or what have you, and take it on another level. Recently, in the news, we've had a lot of turmoil here in the States, with mass shootings in Buffalo and, recently down in Texas, and our hearts and prayers go out sincerely to those, who have passed. But for the families and the communities of, these places, I don't think that gets talked about enough.
Absolutely.
So how can, communities come together to heal and have, spiritual accountability? Spiritual accountability. I'm sorry.
So I made a post one yesterday, and I was talking about mental health, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And the one thing that I practice with myself, and I think that we all should get into the habit of doing, is not only asking how are you feeling or how are you doing, but how's your mental? because those are two different things. So if you're asking me how I'm doing, I can say all day long, I'm great. My health is good. I walked outside, I went for a walk, I jogged, I did all of those things, but my mental could be way off. My mental could be so filled with so many things because the climate is thick, the environment is thick, the things that are going on, it is so heavy. And so if we're not checking on each other's mentals, I don't know that just before you got on this call that you just went through something that was crazy. And when you get off this call, you got to go back to it. And how are you going to deal with it? And how if I go to work and somebody is going through something, and then when I get home and watch the news and I'm like, oh my God, this person was just at work with me today. And so I think it's important for us to check on each other's mental and not just how you're doing, because we forget about that. We forget that mental health is real. I myself, I've dealt with mental health issues for a long time after the things that I went through. So I was taking medications. I was seeing a psychiatrist. I was doing all of those things. And those people thought, ironically, I was crazy. And I really was going crazy. I was losing my mind. And nobody said, I'm glad that you're doing this because you're taking care of your mental. It was, we don't do this. And that's the problem. When we start accepting that there is help out there for us, that there is someone that we can go to and talk to and just dump on and let all of these things out. Once we accept that and we get into the practice of that, then I think it's starting the ball rolling and getting help for us. But right now we don't do it enough. Like it's taboo, or you're not supposed to do it, or that's just not what we do. And that is what we do. See, the thing about God is that he assigns people, he anoints and appoints people. And so the people that he anointed and appointed for us to go talk to, because they are psychiatrists or they're therapists, we don't use them, but they are anointed and appointed by God. So that's what we're supposed to do anyway. It's in your word. If you read your word, it's there. It's in your word. And so we got to get out of the stigmatism that we don't do that. That's just not what we do, because it's in the Bible. It's right there. He sends us help. We ask for help all day long, but then we don't accept it. We say, oh God, if I just need this to get out of this, I'm just losing my mind. And God said, hello, the commercial came on, the business cards are out there. You walk past this doctor's office every day, but we won't tap into the resources that we are given. And God is the source for our resources. So why not use it? That's where it starts. Just accepting that, we have to take care of our mentals. We need mental help to deal with our mental health.
Yes. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that is called gospel. Okay. Coach Ella just, gave y'all the gospel real quick. Look, I told y'all this is what y'all get. Y'all start messing with me now. Okay. Informative content, you're getting that. All right. That's what I pride myself on. Mm-hmm. But now let's talk a little bit about how we can apply the spiritual to the mental health part. Because see, now with the mental health, getting your, mentals, together or what have you, spiritually, you have to, in my mind, there's levels to having great mental health. And spirituality, man, come on now. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We need that. And now you're talking about having accountability, oh God, partners, to go along with this. I think, me personally, I think that just takes you higher, that just takes you on a higher plane, because now, man, you're in tune with yourself, you're in tune with God, you just have things on. Look, you can already see the dark times, coming before, they even happen, and you can make proper adjustments, to live the life that you need to. So, come on, girl. Come on now. Talk to me now, Coach Ella. Talk to me.
And people look at me, right? And the one thing that we don't understand, my dad used to always say, God rest his soul, he passed away from COVID. Him and my mom were hospitalized on their 47th wedding anniversary with COVID, June the 2nd. My mom survived, my dad passed away. And then we also lost maybe 15 people that year. And people look at me like, girl, how in the world are you functioning? Like, how are you? All of that. I've had 11 abdominal surgeries. I spent a week on life support, and I'm sitting here talking to you. It's nothing but the grace of God. When I tell you I could have lost my mind, but for God. And so that's how I know. And the one thing that we have to understand is we are the only Bible that some people will ever read. So what are you giving these people? What are you showing these people? What are you telling these people? You have to be the example that other people need in order for them to get to their next level, because there is a next level. They can't get through this. I'm a living witness. You can get through it. You can grow through it. You can get to your next. But we have to be the example that other people need, to show them that it's possible, to show them God can't use it if it's a secret. And so we have to be able to be that for that person or those people to see, and they can look at us and say, oh my God, if she could get through this, I know that I can. If she could lose her dad and all of these people and have all of these surgeries and all that stuff, and she could still sit here, who am I that I can't go through this? Who am I that I can't do this? Who am I that I can't get to my next and get past this? So you're right, it's levels to it, but we have to be the example that other people need to see.
Hey, look here. Now, I don't know if y'all caught what she just, said earlier, like, yeah, I mean, she, cleaned it up a little bit, but, she dropped it on y'all earlier when she said, we are the Bible that some people will ever read. All right. Mm-hmm. We are the only Bible. I'm sorry. We are the only Bible that some people will ever read. Now, that right there, my dear, is a word. Okay. And, that is so real on so many levels, and you are totally, man, you are correct beyond measure. Okay. Okay. And this is not to knock or call anybody out, but let's just tell the truth. I've worked in the school system for 10 plus years, in every aspect. And I know sometimes educators, man, they're people too. They go through it. They have lives. Some have children. Some have family that they're taking care of. Some have situations. Some have illnesses that they're doing. I mean, it's just a bevy of other things that they have going on. Sometimes their spirituality is not always in check, right. But these are the people that, we, leave our kids to. And for some, man, they're great. For others, it depends on, how the wind blows that day. Right. Right. But that sort of leads me into my next question, So we do have those, students, kids, young adults, older adults, beautiful people like us, what I'm saying, who find themselves wanting to change spiritually. They want that positivity. They want, those people around them. They just want to change mentally. But unfortunately, they find themselves, due to normally financial and, economical reasons or what have you, stuck in situations or circles where they're surrounded by toxic, people or activity. What advice can, you give those who are going through, these things, but they're trying to make that change, they're trying to make that turn, for them to make that turn?
Well, first of all, you have to, you got to surrender to God. The Bible says that you are supposed to take up your cross and follow him. And so if you're following God, those right people are going to come. You see, you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you, if that makes sense. And so when you change the people around you, those people will come, and we have to make a conscious decision to say, I got to cut people off. And prime example, I have to cut my son off. That's my child, my son, cut him off. In the word, they told Jesus, like, your mother and your brothers are trying to get in, like they're trying to see you. And he said, who are they? My family are the people that follow God, that are doing the godly things. And so who are they? And so if he can cut off his mother and his brothers, who am I that I can't cut people off? And sometimes we're so afraid to cut people off and things off because it's normal for us, or it's comfortable for us, and it's what we're used to. But growth and comfort don't mix. And if you're trying to grow in God, it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have uncomfortable conversations. You're going to have to do uncomfortable things. You're going to have to go to uncomfortable places. But it's for the good, and it's for the greater of what God is trying to do in you. And so to those people that are trying but don't know how, the first thing is you got to get uncomfortable. You got to say, no, I'm not going. No, I can't participate. No, this isn't for me. I'm trying to get into myself and I'm trying to change my life. And so those things I can't do anymore. You know, it's a song, it's a spiritual song. Places that I used to go, I don't go no more because I'm a brand new me. People I used to see, I don't see no more because I'm a brand new me. You know, you just got to get brand new on them, and they gonna say you changed, and that's okay, because if I'm trying to grow, how can I stay the same? I can't. And so, you know, if you are trying to live a life that's pleasing to God, you got to let some things go. You got to cut some things off, and you got to trust God with your life wholeheartedly and know that He's going to replace those people and those things and those places that are of Him, and it's going to be greater for you in the end. So you just got to make that decision. You got to start with you first. You have to take the steps, and you got to do the work, and you got to get uncomfortable. That's the best way I could put it. You got to get uncomfortable. I don't go around my family, a lot of my family, because I don't do what they do, and it's okay. Or if I come, the one thing they know about Coach Ella, oh, she's gonna be here for 5 minutes and she's leaving, and you better know that. I'm okay with that. They used to call me world, and they used to say, oh, she's always in her own world. It's okay. They know me here. Y'all don't know me. So it's okay. You got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with being uncomfortable. You got to be okay with people calling you names or saying you changed and all that stuff. That is okay, because I am changing and I am doing what God wants me to do, because y'all can't get me in heaven. Y'all can't answer for me. Me being in this circle and around these people, this toxic stuff and all, y'all can't answer for me. I have to answer for me. Right. And so when it's my turn, what can I say? When God comes to me and say, I told you let those people go a long time ago, and now look where you at. So you gotta get uncomfortable.
Hey, look here, y'all. Look, I don't know. She just said growth and comfort don't mix. Okay. And you know, look, I say it all the time. Comfort is a cage. And if you want to be in your cage all day, then that's fine. That's on you. But, you know, when you're looking at others and they're not in their cage, and they're getting, you know, to places that you want to get to, then, you know, let me change my style. Let me do this. Or, well, how can I? Well, now it's a little bit too late, because the people you could have leaned on, man, they flash you up. So,
exactly.
Coach Ella, come on now. Come on. Don't tell me. We have a church up in here, y'all.
Listen, church don't got to be in church.
Look here. Hey, look. Y'all getting this gospel today, okay? Look, hey, I ain't got no plate or nothing to pass around, but y'all gonna get this gospel today. All right. Anyway, now let's just talk about. I just love these transitions. How, you know, having spiritual accountability partners has helped you in your own personal life.
I've changed so much. People have held me to what God has created me to be so much. And I'm so thankful for those people, because I would still be a messed up individual. I was a messed up individual. And I'm just being honest with myself and sitting in my own truth. I wasn't able to do that before. You couldn't tell me my truth and I accepted it, because I was ready to take your head off. Like, who are you talking to? But now, you know, in my spiritual self, in my spiritual maturity, I'm able to accept that. So when you say, Coach, I don't think that's right, or you shouldn't have said that, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, I receive it better. At first, I wasn't receiving anything. And so now I am able to have better relationships. I'm able to have better conversations. And it could be at work, it could be at home with my children or whomever. And I know how to go to God and say, God, you see what I'm trying to do. You see how I'm trying to help. Should I take a step back from this person or this situation? What do you want me to do in this situation? And so that's helped a whole lot, because a lot of times it's always about me and what I want to do and what I want to say. And God says, it ain't about you. And my dad used to always say, how does God get the glory in this? And so now I'm always thinking, every decision that I make and everything that I do and say, how does God get the glory in this? Because my dad also used to say, there's always somebody watching saying, I want to be just like Ella. So what example am I showing people? You know, what life am I living that other people are seeing? And so my spiritual accountability partners, they really helped me to get to this point, because otherwise I would still be a mess. Probably will be in jail somewhere.
Now, you know what? Look, and I can't. Well, you know what? I'll just use it now. I'll probably use it later. But introspective, to really have that look within yourself and be like, look, spiritually, emotionally, on all levels, I am just not happy, where I am right now. This is not the best me I can possibly be. This is not. This is just not what it is. And I just really personally think it takes a strong mental to make that change. Definitely, as you're talking about within like family, because you have elevated your mindset, to a place where, like, if it goes any higher than what others, may see you or think of you or want you to be, now it becomes a little dangerous,
Right. Exactly.
My ego's hurt now. I dare you, try to be better than me. I dare you try to uplift yourself. That's not how we're built. We're built to be like this. And as you said, look, sacrifices, it is what it is. But for me to be the best version of me, because these people see in me what I can truly be, I gotta stop rhyming. But anyway, but if they can see the best in me, and that I can become, then why not do that?
Exactly.
And to break away from traditional things, comfort, that case, it can be tough. And it can be tough, just to have a positive and, a forward and solution-based mindset, especially in today's society.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to have, but, I tell people when I'm coaching them, we got to eliminate the BS. And that's the belief systems and what we were taught. We were taught that, you can't dream big, or you can't think out loud, or you can't be this, or you can't be that. And so other people around us think that too. But my dad used to always say, why live at the bottom when there's so much room on top? And that's what God gives us anyway. Like, he wants the best for us. He wants to give us the desires of our hearts. And so, we have to change our mindset. Even if other people don't want to change their mindsets, we have to change our mindsets. We can't be stuck in a poverty mindset, because God says he, it's cattle on 1,000 hills, is all ours to claim. So why aren't we claiming it? Why aren't we getting what God has for us? It's because of the BS, the belief systems of what we were taught. And so we have to change our mindset. And if nobody else wants to change their mindset, that's okay. But you need to change yours so that you can get all that God has for you. It's so much more. It's so much more. But you got to change your mindset. You got to eliminate the BS.
Look,
whatever that might be for you, you got to eliminate it.
Okay, let me just say this right now. I got two things. One, your father, rest in peace, sounds like he was a great and very wise man, because I'm just sitting up here listening to you and like the references that you're giving, in the lessons that he's taught, yes, he sounds like a very wise man. So shout out to him, you know what I'm saying?
Thank
for real.
you.
Straight heavily shot, Second, did y'all catch that BS? I don't know if y'all caught the BS. Okay, like some of y'all out there, BS means some other stuff, but belief system. Okay,
yes,
you got to change your belief system. You got to call out the belief, man. Look, call it out. Call it out.
You have to. Really? And I think we're afraid to call out the BS because it came from our elders, it came from our parents, it came from our aunts and uncles and grandparents. And so just because they said it, that's what is right. That's like, we were always taught to believe that if you drive down the street with the light on in your car, the police can pull you over. Who told you that? But because that's the BS that they gave us, that's what we thought, and that's not even true. The law doesn't say if you drive down the street with the light on in your car, you're going to get pulled over, get a ticket. That's not true. So we got to eliminate that BS, and we have to change our mindset. The word says that we have to, in this generation, we have to learn things for ourselves. And so we have to learn the Bible for ourselves. We have to learn the word for ourselves. We have to learn what God told us for ourselves, and not just taking the word from other people. And I think a lot of times that's why people get so frustrated with going to church, because they're starting to learn the word for themselves and what God really said. And so once you eliminate the BS and what was taught to you or dumped into you, that's when you start to live. And that's when you start to live the way that God wants you to live, and not the way that other people want you to live, or the way that you were taught and trained to live.
Look here. You gonna get some people kicked out some places there, Coach Ellen. Now, okay, you better stop, man. Look here, you better stop telling the truth now. All right, stop it. Stop telling the truth. Okay, everything. Man, look, there no lies were detected in that statement by Coach Ella, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just say that. Okay, no, look, hey, that's a word now. Okay, and that's what it goes back to, and. People deem it taboo, to like speak back and, oh, I did. And as I said before, I dare you have this mindset. I dare you think on your own. I dare you question what I had to say, because it's really not about instilling, a good belief system in you. It's really about my ego, and it's really about control, and it's really about the other BS that I can feed you, exactly. Have you thinking I can't drive down the street with my light on in my car because the police on the arrest. But no, hey, look, oh my God, yes, and for our people out there that can relate to what she just said, yes, y'all know it's true too. Okay, look here. Now, let's turn the page because we didn't gave y'all that fire, so we gonna turn the page a little bit, okay. But now, let's talk about your book. You have a book. She's an author, ladies and gentlemen, as well now. Okay, come on. There's nothing wrong with saying, so what? Let's talk about that.
So, I wrote the book. My dad actually gave me the title of the book unknowingly. So we used to carpool together every day for 3 years. And we were always, my dad was a talker. He was a teacher. People used to say he missed his call and he was supposed to be a preacher, but my dad wasn't into any of that. He was just, he was full of wisdom and information. And so probably the year before he passed away, I started recording the conversations. And in March of 2020, he was supposed to retire. And so he started bringing all of his paperwork home and all of these things. And he had this sign that he had on his clipboard. And one day, I wanted to finish the conversation. So I went in the house with him, and he goes in the room, and he comes back, and he's holding this piece of paper, and he's laughing. I'm like, what you laughing at? He held up the sign. There's nothing wrong with saying, so what? And I said, Dad, those people will put you out early. Like, he said, you know what? When my boss gets on my nerves, I hold up this sign. Fast forward to when he and my mom were in the hospital fighting for their lives. It had to be like 3:00 in the morning, and God was like, write a book. And I'm like, God, my parents like fighting for their life, right? Like, nobody got time to write no book. I need to pray. I need to do all these things. And God was like, write a book. And I was like, God, what am I supposed to write about? So I go to my phone and I'm just scrolling through the pictures of my dad, and that picture popped up, and God said, that's the book, write it. And I was like, okay, what am I supposed to write about? He said, everything that you've gone through in your life. And so when I started writing, it was like, so what? I went through these things, so what? When I was married, my ex-husband had a baby on me. And God said, so what? Look at the story of Sarah and Abram in the Bible, in their situation. So what? Keep writing. And then, my granddaughter has epilepsy, and God was like, so what? She got epilepsy. Look at the person in the Bible with palsy. Like, so what? Keep writing. And then it was the issue of blood. I was going through my whole fibroid situation, all of that stuff, and I was bleeding. God said, so what? Look at the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible. Keep writing. And so that's how I came up with the book. And so the book is everything. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything that people may be experiencing or going through in their life, it's happened before. And so this book is a reference. It gives you a scripture. It gives you a word on everything that you may be going through in your life. It's happened before. And so what is happening? So what? You don't have a job. I write about me not having a job. It's so transparent. It's like, so what? You got evicted from your house. So did I. So what? Like, these are the things. This is real life. This is what you're going through. And so what is happening? There's a purpose for our pain. There's a reason why we go through the things, or we grow through the things that we grow through. And so this book is just helping people to really get to that next understanding. It's happened to people in the Bible. This is how they got through it, and this is how you're going to get through it as well. So it's nothing wrong with saying, so what? Even if you wake up in the morning and you don't have food to eat, so what? You woke up. And it's not to discredit anything that you may be going through, but it's to tell you it's happened before and it's going to happen again. You're not the first, you're not going to be the last. So what? My ex-husband cheated. Guess what? It happened in the Bible. So who am I to get mad or upset? Girl, you better keep it moving. You know what I mean? And so that's what the book is about, just the reminding people that, all of these things happen in the Bible, and there's a solution for it, there's a word for it, there's a scripture for it. Go to the Bible. And then it also has it's like a workbook as well, because now I'm challenging you, right? What's your so what moment? What was your so what moment this week? What was your so what moment today? How did you get through it? How can you help somebody else through it? So it's really interactive, and just getting people to do the work and just getting them up. Like, we got to get off the sidelines of life and we got to live. And so this is the introduction to you getting off the sidelines, to getting off of your bed of do nothing and doing something, because it's something to be done. So what? It doesn't matter. Keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I love it. I love you. Look, I love it. And I can see why I can see why you're Coach Ella. I can see. No. Look, well, okay. Let's break it down. Okay. Let's break down the footage. Okay. You have to have that mentality. All right. Like, it's not the don't panic mentality, but it's more so along, okay, life happens, you know what I'm saying? For others, S happens, you know what I'm saying? Doo-doo happens or whatever, but it's a little bit more than that, like, I'm not the first, I'm not the last. Yes, it hurts, but spiritually, I'm tapped in. All right, this is what's going on. Yes, there's all kinds of chaos ensuing all around me, but spiritually, I'm tapped in.
Absolutely.
Man, look, mentally, I'm focused. This is what's going on, and you can get through. You have to push through. And everything that you just said, from, losing, like, pretty much your right arm, and your dad, to infidelity, to health issues, to like family issues and everything, but to keep marching, to keep going forward. And now we have arrived, and we still ain't done, ladies and gentlemen, now, okay? I mean, this is where we at right now, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just checking out the scenery and stuff right now. I mean, it's just this little thing I got right now, I mean, I got the good stuff in the back,
Right.
I can show y'all that now, but that's more to come. But no, I love it. And I love that you give people that energy, and I love it that you give them that inspiration to keep going, because, man, for real, it's hard. It is hard.
It is so hard. But the word says, despise not the day of small beginnings. So no matter how small your day may start, I tell people, don't look for the good or the bad in situations. Look for the God in it. What am I supposed to be learning? What am I supposed to be doing in this moment? What am I supposed to be teaching in this moment? And so we always have to find God in this situation. When my dad passed away, it was like, okay, God, I understand. You know what I mean? Does it hurt? It hurts like crazy, but I understand. My dad was a giver. My dad was a server, and he served and he gave so much of himself. And I think that God knew that when he retired from his earthly job, he had more work for him to do in heaven. So he had to come to his heavenly work now. So many people depended on my dad for everything. So they would go to my dad before they went to God. And God, the word also says that God is a jealous God. And so God was like, oh, okay, y'all going to him instead of me. Let me take him out of the situation, out of the equation, and see what y'all gonna do now. You know what I mean? And so we have to be so careful of that. And that is why I encourage people to do your own work, because the very thing, that job, that money, that person, that relationship, those friends that you're dependent on, nothing says that your situation has to be what it is from one second to the next. And so you better learn God for yourself, and you better find God for yourself, because I do know that other people's blessings are attached to our obedience, but we got to be obedient. And when God says, I need you to sit down for a minute because I got to teach this person something, like with my own child, I got to sit down. I don't feel any type of way about it. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I'm not hurt. God, I understand, because I would rather sit down and get out of the way and take my hands off the situation and surrender then for you to remove me when there's so many other people that are looking for what you've called me to do in their lives. And so once we understand that, then we're there. We've arrived at that point of spiritually surrendering and being submissive to the word and what God wants us to do.
Look, come on, y'all. Come on. I mean, she told y'all earlier, look, I mean, we have in church, but we don't necessarily have to be in a traditional or theme of church to have
Absolutely.
church. So, I mean, look, that's what you're getting right here. Like I told y'all, we on another level today. All right. We on another level. All right. Now, is this what your, coaching or, and pretty much when people like reach out to you, is this like what they normally get, or take us through that process?
This is what they're getting. They are getting raw and uncut. They are getting, girl, if you don't get your butt up, boy, what are you talking about? Like, get yourself together. They are getting, their truth. I have to help people to understand and to see their truth so that they can operate in their purpose. A lot of times we want to dress things up and dress it down. And we want to make it okay. We just want to massage people and say, oh, you know what? That's okay. And that's no good. And I'm giving people what's happened to me my entire life. People made it okay for me to be the way that I was, and it messed me up. And so my job is to help people understand that it's not okay. I'm going to hold you accountable spiritually. I'm going to ask you, are you doing the work? I'm going to tell you, I don't want to hear about that problem or that problem. What are you doing now to fix you? So that you can know how to operate in this problem, no matter what the situation may be. Because a lot of times, we want people we want yes men. I ain't that. So if that's what you're looking for in a coach, I'm not that. I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't even want your money. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste mine, because then I am not serving you. I am not giving you what God told me to give you. And that's the only way that I know. And so, when people come to me, they want to write a book. They want to, how can I flourish in my job, in my relationship, all of those things. I am not a counselor. I am not a therapist. I am a coach. And so I am coaching you. I'm cheering you on. I'm telling you, you got this. Go to your word. Did you read your Bible today? I sent you a scripture. I'm going to pray with you. I'm going to pray for you. And I'm going to encourage you to get to your next. That is what my job is.
Okay. Look. Y'all heard? Hey, look. She let you know through the door. Look, I'm not here for the counseling. I'm not here for the therapist. I am here to get you from point A to point B. Okay? So, look, if this is what it is, all right, look here, man, we got this. All right, spiritually, where are we? Okay? All that other stuff, there are people for that. Those are professionals. That's what they get paid to do. I get paid to do something totally different. Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on. Look. So now look, if people want to get in contact with you and they want your services and the book as well, come on now. All right. How can they do so, and where can they get the book?
So the book is on Amazon.com, it's on Target.com, Walmart, it is on Barnes and Noble, it's all over the internet. You can search it, it's there. They could get it from my website. They can book my coaching services. They can sign up for my newsletters, my scriptures, all of those things at elladestiny.com. I'm on Instagram, Coach Ella Destiny. I'm on Facebook, Ella Destiny, and I'm also on Twitter, Ella Destiny.
Okay, all right, y'all. Look at man, she all over. She all over. Woman doing it all, y'all. Woman doing it all. Okay, all right. Now, Coach Ella, come to the question that my show's known for, so I have to present it to you. Come on now. All right. What is the one word that best describes you and why?
Resilient.
Come on.
First of all, I'm a Leo, and so we have dominant personalities anyway. But more than that, I've gone through so many things in my life. I've gone through 2 divorces. Like I explained, 11 abdominal surgeries, a week on life support. I don't have a navel anymore. All of those things I've gone through, and I am still here. I am still standing, and it's because I know that there's a work for me to do, and so I have to fight past my pain. I have to fight past anything that I've gone through to do what God has called me to do, and so that He can use me. And you have to have a fighting spirit. This isn't for the weak. This isn't for anyone that wants to ball up and get in the corner and cry. When you in that corner crying, girl, you better be crying to God. That's what you better be crying to. You know what I mean? Like, there's no time for giving up. There's no time for allowing grass to grow under our feet. We got to keep moving the way that God kept moving in the Bible. He went from city to city, and sometimes He went on the mountain and He prayed by Himself. We got to get alone sometimes. We got to get, we got to lay prostrate in front of God. We got to do those things. And so you got to have a fighting spirit to fight through the things that you got to fight through so that God can use you. So I am resilient. I am a fighter.
You look, I mean, I'm sorry, but you damn right about that. You are a fighter, okay? Yes. And I'm just gonna look, I'm gonna break it down. You're already a coach, all right? So leader, that's my word. Because to be a true leader, captain, what have you, everyone's not going to go along with what, your mindset is and what your beliefs are and, the vision that you have to lead those who follow you to where you're trying to take them, which is like, man, look here, I'm trying to lead you all like, to God or whatever, to the right path and live the life that, you want to live without all these things or what have you. And that can be tough. Because as you said, man, there's going to be the haters. There's going to be scrutiny. Man, look here. You already know it always starts at home and then it festers out everywhere. I always say that the first adversity you will ever face in life will come from the home. It won't come from outside. It's going to come from the home. And
my dad used to always say that charity begins at home. And the other thing he used to say is, when we would go to him with problems, he would always say, have you tried my servant Job? And then he would insert our names. Have you tried my servant Ella? And so, we know all the things that Job went through in the Bible. And so if we insert our names in there, like, who are we? Like, we ain't really going through nothing. If we think about the things that Job went through, we ain't going through nothing. Like, this ain't nothing. Like Job had to let go of his wife, his family, he had to lose everything. So who are we that we can't go through those things? And so the other thing that you said, in being a leader, I tell people all the time, a great leader leads from the back. I don't want to be in the front. I don't want to be seen. I need to stand in the back to see who's out of line, to see who needs more help, to see who needs that attention, who needs more prayer, who needs more pushing, who needs those things. And I can't see it if my back is turned, to the people that are following me. So a great leader leads from the back. And so I am in the back watching to see who needs what and how I can help them and how I can serve them. So.
Look. Distinguished, y'all. Distinguished. Okay. All right, man. I had to go boondocks on y'all for a second, but no. Yeah, hey. Look, y'all already know what it is. I ain't saying it. She just told y'all. And man, look, a great leader leads from the back. You can't have your back turned to the people that So, yes, yeah. Woo! Come on, girl. Look, I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Man, look.
Thank you so much.
I don't even know if this is an interview, but I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, talking to you. And like, this has been what's up. And, seriously, let me just say, look, I pride myself on, people coming on, and I pride myself on dedicating my platform to mental health in all aspects. Spiritual, emotional, what have you. I mean, we need all that to, balance ourselves out and to get to where we want to be. But I definitely believe spiritual, is very heavy in that as well,
Definitely.
In getting your mental health,
definitely
straight, But let me just say, look, you family now, okay? So the doors to work at Brownlow are always open. Coach Ella, look, whatever you got going on, I don't know what you got going on, but whatever else you got going on, Man, seriously, if you want to come back, man, straight up, the doors, the platform is open. Man, Coach Ella then came in here and she didn't. I mean, man, she didn't kicked over my furniture. She didn't went straight busted. You know what I'm saying? She did Charlie Murphy your seats and all like that.
Oh.
But y'all got that word though. Y'all got that word, okay? But no.
Listen, like the song says, as I minister to you, I minister to myself. So I'm talking to me as well.
There it is. There it is. No, look, I love it. And I just love the transparency and I love the advice. And I just love what, the energy and everything you gave. So look, y'all, informative content. Word with Ty Brownlow. Y'all know what it is. And on that note, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I've been your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. You can follow me, all media platforms, Word with Ty Brownlow. Or you can go to my website, TyBrownlow.com. Get this gospel and other great conversations as well. Coach Ella, we out.
Thank you. Thank you.